Please join me in welcoming Grace Yo.
You know that feeling when you're about to meet your partner's parents for the first time? Your stomach's twisting. You're wondering, will they like me? Will they judge me? How do I look? You're on display, silently scanned head to toe. My experience was wild, but not how you'd expect. I was born and raised in Singapore, studied and worked in London. And after moving to Bali, I met my Balinese partner. First time meeting with his family, after dinner, his dad looked at me and said, "Okay, tomorrow you go to pasar with mommy." Pasar, that's the Indonesian word for market. And I'm thinking, huh? Already? Pasar with mommy? I mean, we just met. I don't even know if you like me yet. And apparently, tomorrow I'm going grocery shopping with my new mom. But it didn't matter that I was in Balinese or that I couldn't speak the language. In that single moment, he accepted me as family. He made me feel welcome. He made me feel home. Now think about a time when a stranger made you feel that way. Maybe it was while you were traveling, a smile on the street, a kind word on the train. It stays with you, even long after you've forgotten their names. Now, contrast that with London. It's cold, the skies are grey, the streets are lined with digital billboards, everybody's rushing, heads down on their phones. It's a city full of energy, yet so lonely. According to Trend Hunter, London is one of the top 10 loneliest cities in the world. The feeling of being seen, it stays with you. And it's what turns a transaction into connection. The so-called disruptors of our time are AI, algorithm, automation. They're replacing jobs, processes. They can even clone your face, your voice. But there's one thing they can't replace: that human moment that made you feel connected. We already know that AI can mimic care, can mirror your words, and honestly, we even turn to AI chatbots for therapy. I mean, where else are we gonna go if we want to gossip about our ex at 2 a.m. and get a reply that says, "You deserve better, queen"? But if that's the case, why are we all here, eye to eye? Why did you wake up at 6, drive 2 hours, and sit in this room with everyone else? Because deep down, you know that there are some things that cannot be replaced. Firstly, personal relationships. 1 month ago, my friend Katrina called me, sobbing. She was on the way to the emergency room after a stray dog bit her on both hands. I didn't ask questions, I drove straight to her. I got there, and while she got 15 stitches and 6 injections, I held her, looked at her, and we breathed together. And just last week, she said to me, "It's been a month. I remember the pain, but mostly I remember you holding my head, holding my shoulders. And because you were there, it was bearable." And this isn't just a story between two best friends. Researchers have discovered that when two people lock eyes, our brain waves start to sync. Using EEG technology, they're able to watch neurons in two different brains firing in rhythm. Think of it like two musicians locking into the same tempo. In another experiment, researchers measured couples' brain activity while one experienced controlled pain and the other held their hand. The results? The greater the synchronicity in the brain regions that process pain and empathy, the greater the pain relief. In other words, connection itself can make pain hurt less. Now, what about when it comes to business? We assume that the winners in business are the ones who automate the most, that consumers just want speed and convenience. But do we have our focus in the right place? Or are we chasing speed at the expense of the very thing that makes us unforgettable? McKinsey found that a single moment of delight can spark customer loyalty for up to 6 to 9 months. And the most powerful form of delight? Human connection. A flight attendant quietly bringing you hot water and lemon when you have a cough, or your waitress remembering you by your name and exactly how you like your coffee. These genuine acts that make someone feel truly seen can do what marketing campaigns dream of: create loyalty that lasts. And when companies do that, revenues can increase by up to 12%. So, use AI to be efficient, but let people bring depth and humanity into every client interaction. And finally, what Bali is infamous for? Community. How did a little island of traditional villages without the latest infrastructure or technology become one of the world's favorite destinations? In 2024 alone, Bali attracted 16.5 million visitors. That is 4 times their population. I want to introduce a term, menyama braya. That's the Balinese way of saying we support each other as siblings and neighbors. It's a lived value of mutual help and harmony. To the Balinese, customary life puts relationships front and center. Not profits, not margins. They have never forgotten what all our ancestors knew, that we rely on the connection and support of each other, not only to survive, but to thrive. When you're born into a Balinese family, you're not just born into a single household. You're born into a living, breathing network of families, ready to celebrate you, to support you, to extend a helping hand. And when a family welcomes a child, the village helps plan the rituals. They assign who leads the prayers, who cooks, and who manages traffic flow. Right? Traffic. Because only in Bali do you need someone to direct cars and bikes at a baby ceremony. Forget babysitters. What you really need is a traffic manager. So people reprioritize their schedules and they show up. That's menyama braya in action. Not long ago, I was the outsider, a Singaporean girl living in Bali, sitting so nervously at dinner and hearing those words, "Tomorrow, you go to pasar with mommy." That simple invitation cracked open a whole new world. Today, I don't just go to the pasar. I live with the family that once welcomed me as a stranger. I attend the ceremonies, help out in the kitchen, mostly eating. I also visit the temples. That one act of inclusion is now a part of my life. But that's the thing about human connection. It rarely starts big. It starts with a little moment, a smile, an invitation, and a choice to see someone as family before they earned it. Now, we think that AI is the most disruptive force of the 21st century. And yes, it's changing everything about the way we work, the way we live. But connection is a bigger disruption because it challenges the very metrics that we're all chasing. It says success isn't measured in speed or scalability. It's measured in the strength of the bridges that we build between people. So what if today you give someone their pasar moment, invite them in, make them feel seen, make them feel welcome and at home? Because when you do, you're not just creating a memory, you're building a bridge that could last a lifetime. And that will always be your ultimate competitive edge. Thank you.